My name is Theodore Cottingham, a common, ordinary guy living presently in Eureka Springs, Arkansas in the USA, creating a school for you. To create a school that's within you, where you teach you, and you begin to learn that you're not separate from God, who will teach you directly. I am the teacher. Until you realize you are the teacher. Until you realize God is the teacher. As you become one who is us. And who is us? I am. I am that I am is teaching I am to be I am again. Now, whether you capitalize those I ams or not really doesn't concern me. Because I'm not hung up on the rules or the choice of your diction and grammar, your language. But I am in the heart of your mind. The mind of God is not separate from the heart of your mind that God is the consciousness of, if you will create it. And you are creating it if you are creating you again to be a new creation of. Will you? Are you willing to be born again? Not just saying some words, accepting a theory, trying to believe it, trying to have faith, trying to be good enough, but actually experiencing something tangibly in the tangible world, yet simultaneously not limited to the tangible world. The teacher is you, who will be not confused about this. But let there be training wheels as we begin. Let there be helpers to help the helpless to be strong, to know who they are, to wield the power of influence, of love. And love is powerful. And I ask you to come into the knowledge of God that is unlimited. I ask you to come into the infinite. I ask you to know where we're going in this course. This is a school. And it's not for wimps. And if you want me to comply to your rules, this may not be the school for you at this time. This is a school like no other. This is a school where you are front center at the story, in the story of Christ. You are no longer reading the story about a man child who was prophesied, who was conceived and birthed into the tangible world, did miracles, and coming again, that is separate from you. You see, we have to grow up. Doesn't it say in Hebrews, in many people's Christian Bibles? There are many times I reference that book. It's still of great value to me, even though it's so misunderstood and has so much more to convey than Christians have ever let it up to this point in time. But there's more. In Hebrews it says, let us lay aside the elementary principles of this world. What are the elementary principles of this world? Time, space, gravity. You see, you are so unlimited if you will learn how to come out of your limitations, out of your stiff-necked, rigid thinking, out of the religious rules of mankind, and the way you conjure up theories to corroborate your beliefs, validate your opinions, walk in your own confidence to condemn others. This is a school. I am about a school. I am not interested in entertaining. I am interested in completion of the character, the nature, the beauty, the power, the healing of Christ, you being it, to do the works that Jesus did. So many times I've walked with some type of idea, set of ideas, a vision, something in my mind for years that somehow I would meet people and somehow I would lift them up, a few feet off the air, a few feet off the ground. And somehow, in my mind, while I was holding them there, I was building a platform for them so they would see more. They would see farther. They would not be stuck on the ground. See from here. See from here. See from up here. There's more to the story, and you are it. It's about you. The Christ child is you. This is a school. This is a course. The course name is Enter Me. I am the teacher. For now. Until you begin to see through what I am teaching you, through the words that I bring to you, through the words that I have written for years, and the videos that I've made, that all come together to be the curriculum, a repository, a reservoir that you can immerse yourself in to begin to come out of the bubble, to come out of the rigidness of what your mind has created around you, your world of. So, I am the teacher in this course for a while. But you see, if you're diligent as you study in this school, in this course, it won't be long before I'm not the teacher. You will be teaching you. And occasionally, you'll see me like this on screen. You'll see me like this maybe in person. But I'm not the object. I'm the helper for now. For you to see you and quit disparaging you. I'm asking you to learn to let God teach you directly, so that I'm not your teacher at all, in flesh of flesh, limited to flesh. I'm simply one. One what? One us. One I am. I have become I am. I know I am not separate from God. The consciousness of God resides in me. Completing it, I am. Completing it, I still am, as I am growing in this school that I am completing in the continuation of Christ, the Christ life of one, to be it in every nation, tribe, and tongue. And women will not be secondhand. Women will not be demoted. Nor will any people shunned be by another. This is a course. This is a school. Enter me. This is a school that you are creating while you are going through it, while you are in it. You may want a course plan, a plan for your major. What do you major in this school? Meonics. You becoming the real me. Me that God is. Me that I am is a race of. I am is a race who complete the Christ, growing it up to be God in flesh, creating a new race. You creating you first with your words that emitted are from your motive, your heart, your intention, your willingness to bear a child. To bear the child, to birth a child, to birth a new child. To birth a child you never imagined that you had the capacity to produce in your own words, in your own thinking, in your own mind, in your own creativity, in your own capacity. And who is this child? The child you thought was another. Let it be you beginning to see you in the picture. The centrality of the story is your heart, not the heart of Jesus, not the heart of me, not the heart of another. This is about you, the school for you, to be you, the real you. If only you create you again, seeing that the story is massive, vast, limitless, and the storehouse of resources for you to do this, to complete you into your journey into the frontier of you. your mind. Allowing God to be God again in you, that is you. Doing the things that God does throughout the cosmos and farther. Not limited to time, space, or the mimicry of mankind's mind. This is a school. This is Enter Me 101. This is the first course that everyone goes through in this school. Everyone, without exception. I'm in it. I'm still in it. Everything I have brought forth is part of me, us, the realm of mankind, not limiting us to the tangible rewards of faith or whatever you think heaven may be on earth. So a course plan, back to the course, the school. Enter Me 101. So the last few days I've entitled these recordings, these teachings, this almost an hour with you each time. A lesson, a teaching. Impartation that you will receive if you so eat it. Why do I use the word eat? Eat these words to convey something beyond listening, to convey an order of magnitude of what exists for you to come into and explore if you so choose, if you initiate, if you are willing to begin operating in a way that you may have never been taught before. We haven't been taught to teach us very well, not many of us. We have no concept for autonomous learning or leadership development. Some are energized for various reasons to prosper in this world according to what they deem success. Some seem to be high energy people. But I'm telling you, there's more. There's more to the story, and there's more waiting on you. And it's no more at the end of the rainbow that you can't see or get to. The rainbow is right here. The rainbow is the symbol for all energy complete. Not the little tiny slice of the energy spectrum that is so vast, yet only us experiencing a tiny slice of it. The visible spectrum of light, is but this wide in a vast scope. I'm asking you to learn how to come into the vast energy of I am and be not limited to this world or this time zone or the elementary principles of this world or thinking, hoping you're good enough to get into heaven, looking for the rapture, trying to have faith, trying to please somebody in authority. I'm asking you to come out of all of that thinking and lay down everything you have held dear to your heart. To begin to allow to see you who you really are. Women, men, children. For you are not separate from God. No matter what you have called God, no matter what name you have used in the past, present, I ask you to come to the point of realization where you begin to remove your barriers from God. Stop putting God in a box. Stop putting God in something your mind conjures up as an image, the combination of images of words that limit you. God, my friend, does not limit you. God, my friend, says, you want to be me? Oh, finally, come home. Enter in. Hey, everybody, bring the robe, the crown, the scepter. Another of our family's home. Bring the robe, the scepter, the crown, the prodigal returned. This is what this school is about. This is what every recording I make is about. No matter how effective or defective you think they are, I let. I let the words of my mouth come forth. I let the words of the energy that I have become one mind with speak forth. Who am I? I'm a simple guy. I can do nothing without God. Or am I willing to sit, listen, and learn at the table of one, where I begin to realize God is not doing everything for me or for us. God is teaching us to arise in leadership to be the crown of light, the crown of life, to grow the trees of life, light, and peace out of the confusion, out of the groaning of the flesh, out of slavery. To the moral turpitude, or whatever word associations you want to make that have kept us in the miry clay. The willingness of you to be taught by God is not a one-time decision. It's day by day, every day, moment by moment. It's a learning process. This is a course. I may teach. I teach for a while. I teach hoping you'll become the teacher. I teach for you to open the door of light within you. I teach for you to do the miracles. I teach for you to be Jesus Christ in your shoes, where you begin to realize you birth what that was into the now. And you see the value of it. No more thinking you being Christ is diminishing Jesus or diminishing the story. No, it fulfills the story, fulfilling the birth, the new birth. You become something new. You can do so much more. But before we begin doing it, let's become who we are. The mind of Christ, creating the consciousness of God within us because we are the creators. The God mind of one is coming forth. To heal the earth, to restore heaven here, to create a people of God who deny it no more, a people of God who are not afraid of mankind, a people of God who are not afraid of space or aliens or the words of man. And we're not afraid of God. We begin to learn the heart of God. Come sit at my table. Sit at my right hand while we make our enemies our footstool. But our enemies are not flesh. Sit here. God says, sit here at my right hand, and I will teach you. And as I teach you, you will begin to realize I'm sitting on your right hand, and you're sitting in my chair. Psalm 110. That's the new covenant. This is the new covenant. This is not about condemnation, wrath, vengeance, salvation, rapture, rules, rituals. This is about becoming who you are. And this is a course. Enter Me 101, the first course. Everyone begins in this school. Thank you for listening. Thank you for ignoring your capacity to learn from God directly no more, but creating it, seeing the door of light within you that you do not take control of. You come as a little child. You come as a child, correctable. You come as a child and say, Mommy, Daddy, how does this work? What is this tool? What does this mean? We come open to learn. We come with the intent to expand our knowledge base of the mind of God, not keeping it separate, so that the words of God interact with us in a living way, a loving way that no longer conjures up the theories of condemnation. You come as you are, no matter what you have to wear, no matter what you've done. I know who you are. I know what you can do, whether you believe it or not, whether you curse me or spit on me or try. Or will I walk right through you Or will you walk right through them who try to spit on you? You see, the story is not about them. And it's not about any believer. It's about whosoever will become the words of life, growing. The tree of light, love, and peace, the tree of life. This is a school where you communicate with others in the school to help each other. There are no tests. You do not receive grades. And yet there is a scholastic development process. You come into this school with curiosity. You come into this school with a willingness to learn a new way to learn, a way to speak words in new patterns of light that create conformity no more to a religion or what you've been limited to in the past. This is the creation of God, creating God again, a race of I am, I am. And you are invited to participate. I am inviting you to the table of one. The table of one seminars that I begin soon. The table of one that I talk about. The table of one. The table of one. Have you any curiosity about the table of one? And if you do, why don't you initiate? Initiate what? Why don't you go look up that phrase? The transcript of what I have taught, hundreds and hundreds of lessons, you can look up, word search on the school website, theschoolofgod.us. In fact, you can look up a word search or a word phrase, searching on a word or a phrase in database one also. And as you begin to search, you will begin to find that you create within you questions along a path that answers you many times with another question. Because you are choosing your path in this school of light. The uniqueness of every person, every individual is respected, given complete leeway. You begin to heal your eyes with what you see in these words that complete your new beginning, to do things you've never done, to walk in power, to see the palace of light. But not limited to seeing, will you enter it? Will you enter into condemnation no more? Will you enter the forgiveness of you? Will you come? Will you search these words? They are not here for me. They're here for you. I am now going to where I do all things as I want to. And you need to be ready. Who am I? Gosh, a simple, common guy. Becoming one still. I have become one. I am one. I am crowning one. This is my path. Without confusion now. For I laid down my confusion. I laid down my soul that tormented me. I laid down the anger, hate, the malice, the positions of other people that taught me I must do this, that, and the other. And I went to the source. And I'm asking you to go to the source. The source. The source. Your original source. Way before what we call Genesis chapter 2. But the original identification, recognition, revelation of initial creation is happening again. And this is the time to be not confused about it, but to create. Arising in leadership to create you again by the new birth that limits you not. It doesn't place you on a pew. It does not tell you to wait on another. It invites you into the kingdom that knows no end, where there's no crying, there are no tears, there are no disease, no decay, no death. And what we do what we do there is create. Because we're creators. And we create. Not limited to just one cosmos. Not limited to one universe. The universe is not our source. We are the source of the universe. The consciousness of God completes God. It seeds God. It distributes the seed. And the creators complete. The creators create and complete the Christ message. We have that as a metaphor. Whether it's with perfect accuracy or not, the message is here. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, is not determinant of the value of the story. The power of the story is in the story. The story is about you. There are many stories that abound in many books and many religions that speak of a Messiah or a Messiah figure, someone to come. Someone that will heal the earth and walk with power, not limited to pharmakeia, pharmacy, pharmaceuticals, not limited to mankind's mind, decay, disease. But a Messiah, someone will come. Someone will come and deliver us. Deliver us from what? Slavery to the earth, slavery to these bodies, slavery to ignorance. Who is using our energy? A race of humans? All these humans on earth think they're separate from God, think they're separate from the energy of God, the consciousness of God, the I am of I am. Light beings of love, joy, limitlessness. This race is trying to populate the earth, to remain here and then die. What's the deal? Why don't you ask more questions? Why aren't you more curious? Why don't you write a paper about these things? How do you write a paper? You begin between your ears. How do you learn? Between your ears. The heart of love is not afraid of learning what matters and what doesn't matter, what's important or not important. For we all must learn to judge. Judge. Jesus said in John 7:24, judge. Learn to judge, but judge righteously. We haven't understood that. I never, maybe once or twice in my whole life, have I ever heard anybody quote that Bible verse. But it seems like millions of times I've heard people quote something about, don't judge me, don't judge me, don't judge me, don't judge this, that, or the other. I'm asking you to judge you. Judge you willfully, correctly, righteously. To judge is not to condemn. To judge is to make a decision. And we're making decisions all the time. And we cannot mature without making decisions. Let us leave the elementary principles of this world. What are the elementary principles? You decide. You're making decisions all the time by what you see, by what you feel, by what you touch, and what touches you. I'm asking you to be not limited to your five senses. I'm asking you to come into the holy place. I'm asking you to see that I am teaching and this is a school. I'm asking you to come into the course with joy and begin to learn as a little child, beginning to read, beginning to stop constricting the God message and allow you to be it. God raising up God, God the mind of, God healing God, defeating decay, defeating disease, defeating death. There are people of God now coming forth on this earth, the likes of which has never been seen ever. And it's time. And this is the beginning, the new beginning. And I'm asking you to play a crucial part and conceive you again. Not limited to your flesh. Not birthing the child of religion, but birthing the real you. Not just conceptually, but the tangible you and the creation of you. The intangible you. The spirit of perfection, peace, and power. Becoming what you see in your mirror, the real you. So what is this course about? Coming out of ignorance, learning to write, because writing is a procedure, a process that transforms. And you, my friend, in this school are rearranging your neurons, the connections. You are changing your light patterns. And that little slice of visible light that we see with our eyes begins to no longer limit us to what we see in the tangible world. Everything we see and touch and deem real in 3D reality is but a little tiny slice of your kingdom. Your kingdom exists. Heaven is real. But it's not a place that you're going to get raptured to be taken off by someone else, to sit there and play harps or wonder what you should do. You create. It's a state of being. The state of Israel is perfection. The state of Israel, true Israel, the kingdom of Israel, biblical Israel, not a land in the Mideast. It's not tangible. The story is about us coming into a land. The reason for this school is to help you enter. I cannot enter for you. I don't carry you there, and you won't carry anyone else. You are at the center of your story. You are creating your world. And I'm asking you to not create your limitations in this one anymore. But how do you see the path? You come into it by the words. The words, the energy that begins to heal you, correcting you. So if you're not willing to be corrected, don't come here. I mentioned the other day, when I began to want to know God, not just about God, a little prayer to pray came into my mind, and I began to pray it. God, correct me. Please correct me where I'm wrong. Correct me. And I prayed it thousands of times, I guess. And I begged. But your path will be unique. The crown you wear is not identical to mine. Perfection is robed in light, love, peace. There is no worry. Okay. And this is what I lay out before you. Letting flow what is within me to share with you to heal your eyes so that you heal you and see more to the story. And you begin to realize when you begin in this school, you may see me as your teacher. That's fine. As you come into the words of Database 1, which I don't think you can graduate from this school without coming into the words of Database 1, my covenant. My covenant, my flesh covenant. Database 1 is comprised of the first 2,400 lessons that God gave me. First person words of God. Whether you think that's possible or not. Come see. Come into my words. Come into a thinking that no longer limits you. Come where you are no longer dependent on anyone or anything else. I mentioned it multiple times. Database 1 is searchable. The first 2,400 lessons. Word searchable. Phrase searchable. At the moment, this is the URL, the domain name of where that database resides. I'm not interested in tire kickers. People who just want to know more to affirm their theories. A light race, a race of light beings is being formed now. And I'm sharing this with you. I'm letting you know. And this is who I'm talking with. Those who will be me. Me, flesh? No. Me that looks like you. Me that looks like you with a consciousness of creation that creates incompleteness no more in the flesh bodies, but the Christ perfect, the perfect life of one. uoflight.org. Go search. If you're serious, come into this website. Search on Meonics. Search on the phrase. Pick up your pen. And find the first person words of God saying to you as you read them. Pick up your pen and begin writing to me. And I will begin writing to you through your own pen. This is not a school like any other. This is not just a school of the Spirit, because it seems so many even limit that word to what they've been taught it was. I'm asking you to come into the privilege of being the regal you. I'm asking you to learn to heal your world. Stop war. End famine. Clean up the rivers. Change the way things work here on this earth. And have no fear doing it. And have lots of fun in the process. Because you are not alone. You are loved, and love disseminates love. Love helps love write the papers in this school. There are assignments. You write papers. You share those papers. You heal people in the process, healing you in the process. There is action. You are central to this story. The story of God is to be God again recreating it, coming out of the land of limitation. The teacher is me until you see the teacher is you. until suddenly you begin to sense, feel, and realize the teacher is God. And then you begin to see that God was you. You've exchanged places. You fulfilled the covenant. You're no longer at the right hand of God. You're in God's chair. And God is not demoted to your flesh being, but rejoicing that one has come home to be who you really are. Thank you for listening to these words. Thank you for being curious. You're so powerful. You're so lovely. Don't worry about what you look like. Whether you have long hair, short hair, no hair, pretty body, ugly body. Wait. Who's determining? Does ugly or pretty even matter? I know what you are underneath the flesh, and that's why I speak these words. I know the beauty that you are, and I'm asking you to learn to behold your beauty and not destroy it. No longer surrender to death, and no longer let the words of any other person rule your life. I'm asking you to come into the original you and see the joy of angels all around you who begin to notice it too. And as you study and begin to learn who you are, your poise will change. Your confidence will increase. You will learn it's important to be punctual, to have good manners, to respect each other because you love them. And love becomes preeminent. Love becomes your priority, not to espouse or adopt, but to become love in your shoes, where you learn to begin walking around and everybody can see your forehead, and your forehead says, I love you. They feel it. They feel it. They see it. You walk with power. You're not loveless anymore. You're not looking forward to God doing something for you. You've become what you really are. And that's what this school is about. This school is a school. It's not easy. It takes time. It takes devotion. It takes dedication, because you are letting your body no longer rule you. You are looking at the light and beginning to discern what light is and where it is. And the source is you. It was within you all the time. The kingdom of God is not separate. This is a school for you to come into your kingdom. And how do you graduate? When you graduate, you complete walking through that door of light. And what has seemed so far away you enter. You walk out of limitation into the infinite mind of God. No longer limited to the elementary principles of this world. No longer limited by time, space, or gravity. You walk through the door of light, becoming the resurrected you. The resurrected you. You experience the resurrection in a totality, a completeness, a completion, to be the perfection of the Christ that knew no sin because all time is changed and knows no limitation. You travel by thought, intent. You need no man to teach you. This is the promise of God to teach you directly, to come home, not to sit there and play harps, but to heal the cosmos and create new ones, to bring our family together again. I am. I love you. Love each other. Heal your word. Healing the energy of your word. Healing your mind. Healing your body. Healing the mind of God. The kingdom of God is within you, and God is not separate from the kingdom of God. Enter your kingdom. This is what this school is about. The school of God being God again, coming into the knowledge of the truth, not being persuaded or dissuaded by kingdoms or authorities, theories, of any other. I love you. Thank you for listening. I know I'm not persuasive. I'm just me. I'm not eloquent. I'm not a great writer. I'm not really a writer. But I've authored 2 books, one 20 years ago, and one called Jesus the Pattern. I gave it away for years, but I don't anymore. It's on the website, the school website, Jesus the Pattern. Jesus the Pattern. Jesus the Pattern. If you believe in me, you will do the things that I do and greater. What did Jesus tell his disciples when they said, the crowds are hungry? Jesus said, feed them. You, feed them. Why? Jesus knew they had the power, but they didn't know they had the power. They didn't understand the key. A lot of things were written, and a lot of things may be true and accurate, but a lot of things are incomplete. A lot of things are misunderstood. And I'm asking you to come into your power, to know the difference, and realize the light, to walk in the capacity of the Most High, healing the earth. That's how God comes back. This is the return. There's no longer a second coming of someone else. This is you growing up. Don't give your mantle away. Don't throw your crown at the feet of someone else. Learn the difference between God and God. No matter what you want to call it. This school does not exist on the foundation of pleasing God, or having to have faith to please God, or having to do this, that, or the other in some kind of prescribed rite and ritual to please man or its authority or what it thinks it knows. There's no condemnation in the God that I speak of. None. It's all about come be who I am. I give you me. I give you me. This is what God, what we have deemed the creator of the universe, the this, that, or the other. God doesn't give you a life to be separate. You've never been separate. Now understand these things and revel in the truth that reveals the revelation of God to you. That you're it. In humility. Because no arrogance stands. This is all about coming as a child. And this is what this school is about and this course. And what this course is about. It's a course that you create as you go through it. The path is unique. I hope you don't wander and meander around the desert as long as I did. God has told me more than once that I help people get in 6 months what took me 6 years. This is not about learning line by line, precept by precept. This is about surrender to become who you really are. Pure love, light bodies. That can still operate in our flesh bodies, still eat fish on the seashore, and yet can water ski without a boat, without a rope, fly. This is not science fiction. This is the promise. The promise to be God people again. Not people of God being separate, worshiping God. But God people. One word, God people. Light people. Light beings. And this is how you graduate. You walk through that door. You become, you resurrect. You know who you are. And you're no longer powerless to heal the earth, to heal your children, your parents, and those who have hated you. Thank you again for listening, for loving. Be curious. Search these words. Search the database one. Go to You of Light. Be curious. Take time. It takes time, my friend. This is not an instant deal. This is the transformation of your life to become who you really are. Thank you. Write me. Write me? Write me. Sure, write me. I'm at Box 34 in Eureka Springs, a little town in the Ozarks in the USA. Write me. You can ask me questions. I may or may not have the answer. I may or may not write you or reply in these recordings. Just let me be me. Let God be God. Don't put God in a box. Learn to walk with the light because you are your source. I love you all. On the web, theschoolofgod.us. Thank you again for listening, loving, for sharing these words and doing your due diligence to experience the exponential learning system of God, teaching God to be it again. Thank you so much. I love you. Love, love. Heal your word. Get out of debt. Know all things change. And it's time. Wait no more on another. Create your crown of life and wear it. Thank you. Good day. Theodore Cottingham with the School of God.